So we finally got the trailer for Maul Shadow Lord, and it was very interesting to see all the details and everything in it. The trailer revealed a lot, even Inquisitors, and that the Emperor personally has sent these Inquisitors to capture or kill Darth Maul. However, what is very fascinating to talk about, as per usual, with decades and decades on hand, is that will we finally, in this series, have a showdown between Darth Vader and Darth Maul? So, the biggest tragedy in Star Wars, I've talked about it a lot on my channel, is that neither Anakin or Maul, or Darth Vader and Darth Maul, they never dueled against each other. At the very least, what we know from the 3D animated series, live action, even the comics, you never will see Anakin fight Darth Maul, even during the Clone Wars. And now Darth Vader never met Darth Maul again until this series, perhaps, because this is the chance for Dave Filoni to finally show us a mini showdown. Now, I know that it won't be in the, schedule for Darth Vader and Darth Maul to have this epic duel, because the epic duel belongs to, of course, Darth Maul and Obi-Wan rather than Darth Vader. These are the two unfinished stories that finally come to a conclusion, to an end in Star Wars Rebels. Dave Filoni made sure that Maul at the very end died at the hands of Obi-Wan or Ben Kenobi. However, it will be a tragedy for Star Wars. It would be the biggest tragedy ever if we never got a duel between Darth Vader and Maul. From what we know that Darth Vader will dominate Maul in any way, shape, or form. We know that Palpatine handled not only Maul at his peak powers, but also Savage Opress. He fought both the brothers and defeated them single-handedly without even breaking a sweat. So I'm thinking Darth Vader could do the same pretty much, but it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what we see. And again, it's been a tragedy ever since Maul was introduced in 1999 in The Phantom Menace. So what's that, like 27 years? And we have never seen Anakin fight Maul or Vader fight Darth Maul. Again, there is backstory to this. It isn't just Obi-Wan and Maul. It is actually Anakin has a grudge against Maul too, because Maul killed his first teacher, his first Jedi Master, Qui-Gon. It is because of Darth Maul, actually, that Qui-Gon died and Anakin had to be taught by Obi-Wan, and things unfolded as they should. But this would be a definite rematch between the apprentice of Qui-Gon originally and Darth Maul, his killer. Now, what I've done in my fan comics is that I've created a comic where Darth Maul and Vader actually meet up in the underground of Coruscant, and Maul actually talks to Vader about Qui-Gon, which is very interesting if you want to see it. And if you want to see more comics like this, please let me know down below in the comments. So it starts very interestingly. On one of the rooftops, criminal informant is waiting for one of his contacts, a man in a hoodie, a hidden identity, crawling around the city. Now he meets up with his contact, but upon further investigation, it seems like all of this was a ruse to actually capture this hooded man. With his eyes blood red, he extends his hand and uses the force to crush the windpipes of this criminal who has betrayed him. It doesn't matter though for the leader of these criminals, because the trap had been already set. They had lured this hooded figure out, and now with a press of a button, a bunch of other criminals emerge from the shadows to corner this mysterious figure that they had been searching for this entire time. He had a special weapon though on his waist. Once the camera pans a bit better, you can clearly see that it is Darth Maul, and he ignites his red blade, ready to do battle with these criminals. Now Maul removes his hood and is ready to crush this criminal syndicate who had not only betrayed him, but plotted against him to kill the leader of the Crimson Dawn, which was Darth Maul at this time. This is during Imperial times. Maul wastes no time in throwing his lightsaber at the leader, stabs him right through, kills him on the spot, and just as the other was ready to shoot, another red lightsaber penetrates the other criminals. Maul looks around to see that Darth Vader had now made it to their location. Vader recalls his lightsaber back to his hand. Wasting no time, he turns towards Darth Maul. Imperial intelligence had shown that Maul was meeting with a criminal regarding information that Vader was very interested in. He turns towards Maul and asks him, "Where is he?" A defiant Maul knows that he must give an answer to Darth Vader since he has made it here personally. "It was a trap," says Maul. "They secretly lured me here. They lied about knowing Kenobi's location." This infuriates Vader, who had gotten clear Imperial intelligence that somebody was meeting to discuss Obi-Wan's secret location. Blaster fire is now coming for Vader too. The criminals not only are shooting and trying to kill Maul, but have shifted their focus towards Vader, thinking that Vader is part of Maul's criminal syndicate. Vader does not waste time in crushing these criminals. With one hand he throws his lightsaber, with the other he uses the Force to interrogate one of the criminals. However, nobody's talking. Vader again grabs his lightsaber and tries to sense within all of these criminals who has legitimate information. Whose idea was it to use the name of Obi-Wan Kenobi as a trap? Maul could sense Vader's inquisitiveness as well. He sensed there was something more to this. He was staring straight at Vader. He knew that at this point, both of them had the same goal in mind. How will they split this reward? They will cross that bridge when it comes to it. Now Maul, with that purpose in mind, finding Kenobi's location was a priority. He guts one of the criminals in the stomach while the other one is watching, intimidated in the background. Now both Vader and Maul had all but eliminated all of these criminals, and they both turn towards this man. Vader yells out, "Answer me," as he extends his hand. The man screams out in agony, "The 99 Cantina! The 99 Cantina!" "Good," says Vader, as he slams him to the ground with the Force. Now he turns his attention towards Maul. "You, Zabrak," says Vader, "what do you know?" "Nothing. I came here for answers too," says Maul. Now Vader approaches Maul, who is visibly frightened of Darth Vader. "If you are trying to deceive me, Zabrak, it will be the last thing you ever do." It was clear at this point. If Vader found Kenobi before Maul, he would never let him have his revenge. After being cornered in a desperate attempt, Maul lunges towards Vader and grabs his lightsaber. Trying to get any sort of advantage, Vader simply raises his hand and grabs Maul by the head. Actually, grabs Maul by the horns as he's pulling on them. Maul is screaming in agony. Nobody in his life had been able to not only come this close, but torture him in this manner. Only Vader was capable enough to do this. Maul finally relents. "All right, Vader, the bounty is yours. At least in your hands if you catch Kenobi," says Maul. "I will have my revenge in another way. At least I will see him die and suffer before me." "That is correct," says Vader. "Now, kneel before me." Maul has no choice. He bows his head in obedience, and while both had teamed up, joined together in their quest to find Obi-Wan with new information, the hierarchy was clear. Vader was the master, Maul was the apprentice of sorts. As they were both walking together, Vader was all the way stoic, just as he was many a times before. But this was the first time Maul had come close face to face with Darth Vader, and so Maul thought he could poke the bear. He remembered clearly killing Qui-Gon Jinn on Naboo, knowing full well the kid that was with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon was this little boy that now had grown up to be Darth Vader. "So," says Maul, "how is our mutual friend?" No response whatsoever from Darth Vader. He just keeps walking. Maul could do nothing but slightly chuckle, yet have that inner anger inside. Vader knew it perfectly well. He could feel it. "Alas, I created my own criminal empire, Vader. Something that you have not been able to do with your new master. Where is your old one, eh, Skywalker?" "Oh, I killed him on Naboo." "Never speak of Master Qui-Gon again." With his fist angrily shaking, Vader gives Maul a slight jolt to the heart with the Force, just as a warning to shut the hell up. Maul did not push his luck any further. He knew that Vader had need of him just for a little while because of his connections in the underworld of Coruscant. Otherwise, Vader would have killed him by now. Yet for all that is worth, Maul was sorta glad that at the very least, what he did is initiate an emotional response from Darth Vader. He may not be able to beat him physically, but Maul knew where to push Vader's buttons, and the topic of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan was the way to do it, as deep inside this fortitude of dark armor and Sith aura, there was an emotional wreck, according to Maul's opinion. Cantina 99. This was because of the Coruscant level that they were located on, which was 1199. The scummiest of scum were inside this cantina. For Vader, it didn't matter. The door opened alarmingly fast, and Vader's breathing intensified matters even more inside, as now everybody was on their toes, and somebody knows something about this trap and about Kenobi. Yeah, this is part one, of course, and the only way I could think of getting Maul and Vader together to join in as a team, as a sort of a team, was, of course, Obi-Wan. I knew that both of them had their goals on getting Obi-Wan by any means necessary, and this was sort of a beginning of a story. What happens next? You have to subscribe and stay tuned, my friends, because of course it's gonna be a great story, a great overarching story with multiple parts and sacrifices, twists, plot twists, everything. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you next time.